Hey, how you doing?
Good and yourself?
I'm doing real good. Hey, they,
I'm gonna sound a little raspy because I got diagnosed with under the weather.
oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear. I hope you get well soon.
Thank you.
When you find that out, you found that out today?
Last night.
Wow. Dang. Are you feeling all right though?
I'm okay. It's just my tonsils, like they're a little swollen, and I got like the headaches and stuff. But thank God I don't have any fevers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you good to talk and everything? I don't want you to be.
Yeah, I can focus.
Okay, okay. Yeah. I was just saying. You remember that show All American?
Yes, I love that show.
You watched the newer ones too?
I didn't get to watch the new ones because they always got me at work when they're on.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I'll be watching like on the free site when I get the chance. But I was just thinking.
Don't tell me.
Oh no, I ain't gonna tell you. I ain't gonna tell you nothing. No, I ain't gonna talk about the new ones at all. I was just thinking about. Remember the dude Sean on there on the what was that season 1 or 2? I think he got killed.
Season 2, he got killed.
Yeah, I think it was episode 9. What tripped me out about that is because I had saw him on this Disney movie. It's called what is it? Safety. And what tripped me out about that is he wears number 9 on the show, on the movie. You know what I'm saying? And how he had got killed on episode 9, and wears number 9 on the movie. I'm like, that's a big ain't no coincidence, you know. And then how the movie, he's an All-American football player because it's based on, you know, a real story about like a player who used to play for South Carolina. And when I looked at that, I'm just like, it's just like how everything, the symbolism is like everywhere. When it be places you don't even expect it, you know? Cause
No.
yeah, cause how he got killed on episode 9. Now he's wearing number 9, and how the whole movie is called Safety. And it's just like then he's an All-American. That's just like they like taunting us, you know what I'm saying? And I was looking at that a little while back, and I just be like the numbers. It's a lot of people when you look at like the numbers, especially you don't really understand them, like the numbers can be confusing, you know what I'm saying? But it's a movie that came out a while back with Sandra Bullock. I don't know, you ever heard of a movie called Murder by Numbers?
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, you know how everything operates by vibrations, you know what I'm saying? And I was looking at that, and I'm just like, it's so crazy because before that movie came out, they had actually made a song it's a group called The Police, and they made a song called Murder by Numbers. This is like 1983, I think. And it's like all of the stuff that they do, the symbolism is just everywhere, you know? Whether it's through colors, because numbers, because like, you know, they really like attack our senses, you know what I'm saying? Our 5 senses, you know? And it made me just sit back and think when I saw that, because I was like, it's crazy. Because even like when you look at how we got 50 states, you know what I'm saying? Notice the last state that they grafted in was Hawaii. You feel me? And when you look at that, when you look at Hawaii, you know how Hawaii was formed? They said about what was like the volcanic eruption. And when I was looking at that, I'm like, yeah, and you see how when you add up like 2021, you know, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1 equals 5. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at Hawaii, that's the 50th state. 5 plus 0 obviously equals 5. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at that too, how Hawaii was formed by fire, I'm like, all of this stuff is just so crazy because notice how this year, 2021, it's a huge agenda, you know what I'm saying, to really get everything set up for what they plan on doing with everything in the future, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know, prepping us with everything, like no matter what it is, vaccine, whatever, how everything, they're just trying to prep us all to become a part of this system, whether you down with it. and the ones who ain't down with it, they're gonna try to, persecute, etc. You know what I'm saying? So I was just sitting back thinking about that. I was just like, it's no way you can't really say you don't know because it's in the cartoons, and
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the new movies coming out, the new cartoon movies coming out, it gives us like a clear view of what we're about to head into.
You got any examples?
Like that movie Soul.
Oh yeah.
That one from Disney.
Yeah.
Look at that movie Soul. It's a lot of different things that's going on in there. Like, and even what's that? I want to say there was a cartoon that they came out with. Disney came out with it. There was a cartoon where the two men was raising a little boy.
Oh yes. That was like an animated short. I know what you're talking about. I just saw somebody talk about this not too long ago. Yeah, and they the
like
little, yeah.
With that, like they're okay, like they okay that. That's normalized for us now.
Yeah.
Like there's just a lot of stuff that's like.
Yeah.
Even with movies too. A lot of the books that we used to read, they're coming out now with movies, but the way they come out is just letting us know like we heading into like some deep shit. I was watching Deuces last night with my son.
Oh, that's what you want with Larenz Tate.
Yes.
Yeah,
But if you notice how Lance Cross, he went from being a cop to having to play the character of a drug dealer.
And loyal at it too. Yeah.
Yes, he played this so well to the point where he gave up his loyalty to being a cop and told the guy, "Look, I'm a cop. Take this money and go."
You remember the movie? Was LL Cool J and 2D with Omar Epps and LL Cool J. And you know that was based on a true story. And LL Cool J, it was so deep about that because, like you just said, that goes back to like even with the people hate to hear it, but like when you look at it, Tupac, you know what I'm saying? Tupac, look at his last movie. He was a cop. You remember? He was a dirty cop. All of those guys, they all take a role. You know what I mean? A lot of these people are big plants because that's why they build them up and make you want to, follow and be as them. Because that movie Deuces, notice Larenz Tate faked his death. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it looked real. You remember? It looked so real. Like people thought.
I thought he was going to die.
I thought he was dead until you saw the ending. And the movie Soul. That's good you brought that. I remember I was breaking that down a little while back. That movie Soul, that was just straight Ray Charles. That's who that was, And when you look at 5G, how they already said with Verizon, they said 5G is going to bring digital humans back to life. That was Ray Charles' soul inside the soul chamber. That's what that whole thing was really showing us. You know what I'm saying?
Breaking down what we're really about to head into.
Yeah, that's why they already said they want to bring people back as a chat box. I'm like, this is crazy. It's basically a Ouija board. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
It's just so. What kills me is like, it's just so many people just like these unexplained deaths. Everything's a heart attack or COVID now. These unexplained deaths is what kills me too, because it's like it's mainly in Hollywood. There's a lot of people that have died in the last couple months in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, especially last year. What was it? 200 rappers that people know about at least dies. And you knew that it's actually, you mentioned that it's a rapper from I think he's from Louisiana, New Orleans. I forgot what part of Louisiana. His name is something. He just died. They say I think he was like 26 or 7. But he literally dropped the album called Welcome to the New Rome. And he called it the New Roman Empire. And I'm just like, how is that normal to say stuff like that during this time? Then you got the WrestleMania coming up where the Universal Champion is Roman Reigns. So they let you know they're about to establish a whole new, we're literally living in modern day Rome anyway, but they're talking about like taking it up a notch, you know?
Absolutely. What the people think, like, they think these stimulus checks and all these supposed helping hands from the government is just because that's what they want to do. No, absolutely not. They're gonna hit us with another serious pandemic. We're gonna empty out all the stores like we did the first time, and those are where they're gonna put us, in them camps. These Walmarts and Target stores, they're only big because they need to put us in camps now. Those are going to be our camps. Walmart, Target,
like a zone.
Sam's Club, BJ's.
Yeah, zones, yeah. That's why they set Atlanta, like they remember Atlanta back in the day, I don't know if you're really familiar with it, but Atlanta back in the day, remember it wasn't set up like that. Now Atlanta has Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3. You remember that that show that came out a few years back? I think it's called Contagion, or it's not. It's Containment. What is it? Containment.
Contaminate, something like that. I know what you're talking about.
And remember they was in Atlanta, how Atlanta was literally divided up, and how the lady, she was so dirty that she was the reason why all of it went down, because she wanted to depopulate. Yeah, you know, it's all in there. They've been showing us that for years, and it's that you mentioned that, yeah, the whole FEMA aspect, yeah, that's a real serious thing. They already got that in Georgia with the Georgia Guidestones, you know, which came out in the 80s. They brought that stone there in the 80s when it was talking about depopulation, you know.
It's a lot of stuff that we already know. People just act oblivious to it.
Yeah, because it's just like they distract us so heavy where they make you think LeBron James really care about black people or just people in general. Celebrities really you think J-Lo give a crap about the Hispanic community? No. Why do you think she's up there joined hand in hand with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden? They don't care. Them people are all a part of an oath, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
absolutely.
Yeah, they not with us, they with their people, you know what I mean? And it's so many of them that you don't even know who's who, you know?
No.
You don't even know who's who. There's so many of them among us, you know what I'm saying?
There's so many of them that really don't care about us, but because they get our votes, that's where they show they care. And some people are just so, like, how do I say? People are just so, like, with the crowd. Whatever the crowd does, what they want to do. That they don't see that we're hurting more than anything.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we should be having to be. I work in a field.
Right.
And there's no reason why we have to feel obligated to even have to.
Yeah, that's destroying. That's going against our constitutional right too. You know, you literally have the right. That's your human right, is to anarchy. Anything that goes against the constitutional rights. You know what I mean? That's in the Constitution, you know. But
even though they're saying right now we're not, but some states.
Yeah, they're saying it right now, but they're gonna start really pushing up because they're gonna keep amping up the numbers, you know. And that's all they want to do.
Let me tell you, when I went to get the lady gave me twice.
Right.
The first time I tested positive, she came in the room within 15 minutes. She said, "You're positive for." I'm like, "Oh man, I work for the hospital," because the hospital that I work for was the urgent care that I went to.
Right.
Their bridge. So I'm like, "Oh, I gotta call my boss, let her know." She asked me where I worked at. I told her I worked for the hospital. She was like, she told me again. This time I'm negative.
See that?
So I called my boss and I'm like, "Look, this is the situation." My boss was like, "No, I'm keeping you out for 10 days.
You see? And it's like, how would it have been tested? It's just like, it don't even make sense. Why do you need, it does not even make sense. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and they'll probably stupid, you know. No one's stupid no more because there is too much. We're in the era of information, an age of information. So it's not like.
We're in the era of technology and stuff.
Right. It's not like we were in the era of the only time you knew what was going on is when you got to go look at a newspaper or hear it on the radio. You know? Now I can be up at 3 a.m. in the morning and I can go look up, what's going on with this? You know what I mean? What happened this year? What happened? You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have access now. We don't have to go to the libraries no more like we used to, you know? And it just, it makes you sit back and think, yeah, like they literally, they've taken a human away. I've been talking about this with people for the longest now. Like, the human aspect is literally being taken away from us. We're losing freedoms, everything, you know?
Yeah, restaurants now, some restaurants, all you have to do is order online or, like, order on a kiosk.
Yeah.
So how do we have jobs if we're just, like, ordering on kiosks?
Yeah, especially the airports. You're not going to need no more flight attendants and everything soon. You're not going to need people working at the airport because, like you just said, yeah, you don't have to go to the counter. You just go to the kiosk, you know? It's just how it goes now.
I think this is what they set COVID up for. Was it to shut it down, you know, to keep distance? It was to shut it down so they could bring technology in.
Oh, yeah, transhuman. That's why the whole Super Bowl and everything been about transhumanism. All of this, that's all they've been pushing is transhumanism because it's taking a human away and make technology be the driving race. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the Universal Soldier. Remember they was the people were what was it, like the 90s? This came out when people were dead and then they were bringing them back from the dead. It was like with Jean-Claude Van Damme and them, and they were bringing them back from the dead. And that they remember the scientists already saying that they're going to start resurrecting people from the dead using dead cells in their body. You know?
I believe it.
Yeah. So
that's exactly what they're gonna do.
Yeah, it's crazy because just looking at them, like this stuff was shown to us. What was it back in the day? It was actually a old TV show. What was it, $6 Million Man? And they brought him back from the dead, and he was dead for a minute. You know, that was like the 70s, I think. You know, and I just sat back looking at them like it's no way that everything they show us is to let us know, okay, look, this is what we're gonna do. You know, be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Or they can just be taunting us. You can't stop it.
And that's really taunt us for a little bit.
Yeah, you see how they taunting us with the Taco Bell commercials and everything, saying, "Oh, the dollar stackers, is it being stacked for the what they say, secret society pyramids?" You know what I'm saying? This is a food commercial.
Even the food commercials is letting us know we about to head into some shit.
Yeah, it definitely is. Cause it's just like, I was doing a breakdown on that last night about the whole tissue aspect, and you know we had the whole tissue. Remember the Boondocks showed us that anyway years ago. Remember they showed us that like 06. But when I looked into the tissue part, I had actually sat down and really just sat back and thought. I was like, okay, you got the tissue, and when you understand the tissue aspect, you got the mask. This is the stuff the mummies used to do to prepare for death. Remember? They used to do this. When you'll wrap the head up, you'll cover the head so you can protect the head so it can stay in good structure, and then you'll mummify the body. You know what I'm saying? And then I was thinking, I'm like, when you look at everything going on, you know, when you look at the fruit, everything, when you eat certain fruits, certain foods, you know, it builds up zinc, which create stronger tissues. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just looking at this. I'm like, they're really attacking us. They're making who we are on the inside literally become external. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, this stuff it runs deep. You know, looking back at all the bull crap, you know, the civil rights movement, everything. You people, we grew up learning this stuff. You know what I'm saying? We grew up learning all of these things, and then you go back and look at it. It's like, wow, these people were literally actors. You feel me?
Well, I showed a good friend of mine your breakdown of Dr. Sabi.
Oh, yeah.
He still didn't believe me. He was like, no, that's not true. I was like, huh?
Yo, and like I said, I never denied the health benefits. You feel me? I never denied that because Dick Gregory did the same thing in like the 60s, 70s. He did the same thing. This is way before Dr. Sebi really was like amped up, you know? And Dr. Sebi, when you look at it, Dr. Sebi, all the people he said that he healed, who we came to see, were all celebrities. Where are those 77 people? People always want to defend this man. Where are those? If this man, he said, what did he say? He claimed that he healed a man of blindness. He told the man, you'll be cured by Friday. Where's the man at? You don't think these people would have been coming out or something? They wouldn't have been in no newspapers, nothing.
They would have been in the news and everything.
Yeah, somebody cured me of blindness. This is playing a role. When you look at him, he's playing a role of the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it, you know, and when you look deep into that, because I was breaking it down how he played the role of the Greek god whose mother name was Coronis. Come on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I put that all in there. That man played the role. His name, the god that he played was the Greek god name. I think it's Asclepius. And basically what he was a Greek god who would go around and heal the people. He had saved souls from hell. That's what he was doing. That's why they had him healing people. That's why they had him stage and saying, oh, yeah, he healed people in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? And what happened was what was the name? Hades, which is like Pluto, the Greek god of hell, basically. He started getting jealous, so what he did was he had him killed. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at that, I'm like, that's just like the pharmaceutical companies who Nipsey Hussle told me, oh, yeah, you know, they killed Dr. Sebi because, you know, he was in the way of their money. I'm like, that's the same story. They just using it in reality. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I'm like, this man literally and the next thing you know, after Dr. Sebi dies, he's like, it's like, 15 or 2015, something like that. Next thing you know, the virus comes down the line. That's no coincidence.
No, but here's the worst part. Dr. Sebi died. A year later, Nipsey died, no?
I think it was something like that, either a couple years later or a year later, Nipsey, yeah.
Like a year later?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Look at that.
Nipsey was a supporter.
Yeah. And Nipsey, that whole thing with Nipsey Hussle, they all be faking their deaths. You know what I'm saying? That whole thing was just like a stage production. That's why they literally played it. The guy who was Eric Holder, the guy they said he killed them, they always gonna do the Judas Black Messiah role. And what they did was that guy had the same lawyer that was going against O.J. Simpson. He had the same lawyer who contested against O.J. Simpson. How is that even possible? And Nipsey Hussle sitting there talking all of this on his music video. What was it, Victory Lap? He was like, he said it won't be nothing but another front step with candles. I make one phone call, the rest get handled, you know. One message from the set, we accept your challenge. Then he's walking off into the beach like he's living life.
I never really got into Nipsey. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to say that I did.
Definitely. I definitely understand, yeah. At least you're real about it. Really a lot of people be like, yeah, you know, I've been rocking with him since 2010, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I've never heard of Nipsey until I seen a video of him smacking some guy.
Oh, yeah, the awards.
Yeah, that was the only time I knew about him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why he had to get with Lauren London, because Lauren London, you know, she's tied in. Her dad is Jewish. Her story on ATL was really her, like, real story. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, you remember how she was on there? She had, like, she was so hood and all of that. But reality, she was living like a princess. And she was grimy. You remember how she was just, like, I ain't going to say necessarily grimy, but, like, she was just so cunning. You know what I'm saying? You really gonna sit here, act like you so hood, so you act like you about to catch the bus, and then walk around and go get in your BMW and go home. You know? That show how much these people can play a character. That's all they showed you on there. They play characters. T.I., all them guys, all them dudes. How did he get off with that case? Come on now, with all those guns, and he get off on that case like that?
No, my thing is, why are they not even? They still not even. They dropped that whole sex act thing with him and Tiny.
Yeah, see, they got the power to do that, and they like, oh, that girl just talking. I mean, I wouldn't deny anything what these people are doing. You feel me?
I feel like there's nothing in the Hollywood industry does not surprise me. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't put it past them doing all that sexual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Money will make you do some stupid shit.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. Like, you're right. And it, like, because once you get in that game and you in it like that, you know what I mean? Once you go through the ritual like once or twice, it's normal now because you broke that wall. That's just like, for instance, when you when you say somebody who's shy, who never drunk alcohol before, the first time they drink it, they probably not going to like it. You know what I'm saying? The second time, they're like, I can handle it. But then after that, they start taking it more and more. It's like alcohol's become a problem now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them people out there in that game is in that situation. It's like addictive, That's why they be on pills and drugs.